Hey, everybody. If you've been paying attention, you noticed that it was kind of quiet this weekend from the Jamulki end of the universe, and I want to apologize for that. Um, I feel like I've not been a very good uh, podcast host, and but I'm kind of in a rut, kind of in a place where I don't like hearing my own voice come out of my face, and kind of just down on stuff. And um, I don't know why. I don't have a good reason. Just is blah blah blah. And yeah, it's something. I don't know. I can't shake it. I'm not terrible, but I'm surely not good. And I think I don't know if it's got to do with what's going on in the world, me questioning myself a lot, lots more work. If it's something else, I don't know. But it's probably going to be quiet for a little while. I will try my best to put out shows here and there, but it's not. I don't see myself doing a daily show daily for a while. I just this week in general, I just don't have time. I've got a lot more work going on than I really want to have. So we'll see what happens going forward, if I can adjust my time, my schedule, or even if I can bother myself enough to kind of get on the computer. This is the first time I've even looked at my laptop since Friday morning. And yeah, it's just blah. It's blah. It's blah. I know a lot of you get that. I'm still here. I'm still receiving and hopefully answering emails and text messages and all those different things. Jamulki all over the place. 248-648-1419. So yeah. So for your listening pleasure, hopefully it's pleasurable. I don't know about the sound quality. There was something goofy going on when Nora and I chatted last weekend. So I've got that for you. You can listen to that. And yeah, until I'm back, everybody be safe, be well, take care of each other. Reach out to me if you just want to chat. I may be slower than normal in getting back, but I will get back to you. So yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you enjoy the show. Thanks. Okay, so I think I'm sitting here with Nora, and she's got her
You're
own
for
microphone.
sure sitting here with me.
Fine.
Whether or not the audio is going to work is a different story.
Well, yeah, that is going to be a trick. So we'll see what happens. I had a little trouble getting things set up, and I may be more advanced than I think I am. The other way, not that I am. My technology might be more advanced than I think I am ready.
Oh,
Not that I myself am more advanced.
super advanced.
Yeah, I'm not better than the average
Futuristic
person.
technology.
Yeah, that's to me.
Yeah.
Um, so it's been a while since Nora has been on the show with me, and I've been telling you all that I would get her on. And after this past Thursday's kind of crappy podcast episode, I made a promise, even more so, that I would treat the listeners with having you on. So here you are.
Oh, I see. You committed me.
Yes, I have committed you.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. I need you to talk by yourself.
Hello.
Okay, you're just really quiet. I don't know why.
Because I was holding the microphone too far away.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm louder than you.
Well, you have a voice, and I have a girl's voice.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. But okay.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So I don't know about the crappy podcast episode.
no, I just didn't have much to say. And yeah, so I did half, I planned to do half the podcast and then go run and come back and do the other half. And the idea was seeing if it was different JP, right? Before run, after run. And it was a sucky run. And So it was
Maybe a different thing for you,
yeah, I don't know that it was that much different. So that's all. It wasn't,
but mm-hmm.
I wasn't divulging in something crappy going on. It was
Okay.
just, yeah, it was whatever. But so you haven't been on for sure since Corona pandemic has been here.
I don't think so.
No. And so I thought we could talk about that a little bit because I've told the folks how I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
like how I think I'm doing, like I thought I was doing. I thought pandemic life suited me early on, right? When I wasn't working and I was going out and running or walking every day,
Yeah.
right? And like napping like every other day and didn't really change my life that much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started back to work and it got a little more stressful, like trying to get my runs in and things like that. And um, then my eating became a thing again.
Mm-hmm.
And um, so, clearly I'm not doing as well as I think I'm doing,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'm doing that terrible.
Right.
So, but I was wondering how you're doing because we talk about it, and I know like there's
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think, and I've talked to people at work about this, and it's like it depends on the day,
Mhm.
right? More so than it used to.
Right.
I mean, this week, right? I've been pretty caught up in the craziness that's happening in Minnesota.
Right.
That's home,
Mhm.
and um, talking to a lot of my colleagues who still live there and are experiencing this, and seeing posts from my college friends who live in the heart of it, and thinking about my family members who grew up in that neighborhood,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And all of that, it just makes it clear to me that we're all sort of in a more on the edge state. We're all really close to, I feel like everybody is sort of on the edge of a tipping point and like
Yeah. I think
more reactive and more emotional,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. There's a lot of there's a lot of I don't like using the word crazy, but there's a lot of stir craziness going on. And people are pent up and they have no outlets for physical outlets, emotional outlets, lots of different things.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't even know if it's specifically being at home all the time, being pent up like that we were talking about, what it must be like to be in jail.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
can still go outside and we feel
Right. Right.
but I think more than that, I saw on Facebook and wound up sharing, Maslow's hierarchy of needs,
Mhm.
right? And the idea that our fundamental need for safety, which is really far down at the base of the equation, has
Mhm.
been disrupted. We all feel vulnerable right now, right? And that undermines our sense of safety.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't feel vulnerable?
No, no more than I have
Hmm.
otherwise.
I do.
I think, yeah, I don't think it's as universal as you think it might be, but it's clearly something,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, the folks who want to open up the economies and the communities, I don't know that they're feeling particularly vulnerable about anything, right? And I just don't feel anything, so I'm not I'm not a good barometer
Yeah.
for these kind of things.
Okay. Well,
But
my friends and the people I work with,
Mhm.
a lot of us seem to feel vulnerable, and that just makes everything harder
Yeah.
because it's this underlying sensation all the time, sucking energy from you if
Hmm.
you're not aware of it.
Hmm.
So
Can I wax poetic for a second
sure.
and kind of get deep? And I think our redheaded stepchild would agree with me
Mm-hmm.
a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
who I've only referred to as my new friend on the
Oh, okay.
podcast so far.
Well, I think we should be clear that the redheaded stepchild
Hmm.
is in fact not legally anyone's stepchild,
Right.
and isn't a redheaded stepchild in terms of being the person that we exclude.
Right, but
Right.
they are redheaded and
Yes.
they are a part of our life, and so
Yes.
redheaded stepchild makes me
Yes.
giggle inside.
I get it. I
Yeah.
just don't want the listeners to think something.
They already think I have like 1,000 kids, so it's fine.
You got it.
Um, that like I think I would argue that I don't feel more vulnerable because like I always feel vulnerable,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
tomorrow,
We may, in fact, the rest of us may be experiencing more of the world we live in.
maybe, yeah, and yeah, like I've been confronted with that a lot with our stepchild,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of reliving a lot of my past,
Mm-hmm.
right? And being like, oh yeah, like it's too like bittersweet in some ways. Like wow, like I'm not there right now, but yeah,
Totally remember.
yeah, and I totally get what's going on.
Yeah.
And I've said it a lot before, but it's like doors have been opened for me that haven't been opened for a majority of people,
Mm-hmm.
probably, right? And like they don't close all the way, right? They're always
Slightly ajar.
it's always the monster in the closet. The door's open just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, so I think there's a little bit of uneasiness, and then we get into like the whole like traditionally depression or most mental health medications only last for a certain amount of time, and the body adjusts, adapts, and chemicals go into a different balance. So like that's like always on my mind.
A fear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that like I still say I'm pretty lucky right now with the medication that we found.
Yeah.
And it's worlds different, but like I just think of all the different people at the DBSA meetings that I would go to, and they'd say, "Yeah, it stopped working."
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you had moments when you thought something was working and then it didn't work as well.
Right.
And certainly, I mean, I was on medication for 10-ish years,
Mm-hmm.
and I did get to that point where its efficacy seemed to be failing.
Right.
For me because my body was just used to that one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely happened.
Yeah. So, but we don't really need to get into that too much.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I just saw that we weren't recording, but we are recording. So, sorry. Yeah, peek behind the curtains for everybody. Yeah. So I mean, how do you? So you feel more vulnerable?
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
And but I mean, aside from that, how I mean, you've been exercising a lot more in the past. Has it been a month?
2 months.
Two.
I've had it almost 2 months. I got it April 3rd.
Wow. So the Peloton is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And
the Peloton bike.
Okay. Yeah. And like you always aspired to be more active, and you were for a long time, and then we got married, and we both got lazy and fat, and then typical story, and then
I would argue I've gone in cycles for decades, right?
Yeah.
Doing well for a while, maybe even a couple of years, and then life happens, and I get out of that habit, and it's not happening so much anymore, right?
Right.
Yeah, I have said to multiple people that I think for me, getting a Peloton at the beginning of this time has been, sorry, if you're children yell in the background,
Yeah.
so just trying to figure out what's going on. I think that has been part of keeping me sane.
Mm-hmm.
It's a right. It's a change in body chemicals and an introduction of endorphins and whatever. And I've been doing it at the end of the day every day.
Yeah.
Which has been sort of almost trying to shed my workday and move into other parts of life.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm counting on you to talk for a second. Yeah. I mean, so like, I mean, do you think the exercises clearly helped you?
Yes.
But
Yes.
have you thought about where you might be if you didn't have that? Because running is not your thing right now, so you wouldn't be getting out necessarily running. Maybe would,
I might.
but not daily.
No,
No.
not daily. Partly just because it's harder on your body in different ways. But, yeah, I think I'd be struggling more. I mean, I obviously can't know for sure. I'm not there. I haven't experienced that. But
Right.
I think where, I mean, there was one night, I don't know what day of the week it was, whatever, but there was one night where I was feeling really crummy at the end of the day. And I almost, so the trainer that I love the most is almost like a second therapist for me. She's very much about changing, she says change your chatter. So it's about changing your self-talk in your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And making it not be negative, trying to turn it into what you can do and you're capable of, and all those things. And so some of her rides are known for putting people in tears.
No.
Because she brings up hard things, or she asks you to like just close your eyes and listen to the chatter in your head. And that can be
that's not a good idea.
It can be cathartic for people. And so I got on one of the rides that had that reputation because I felt like I just needed a good cry.
Okay.
And it was okay if that took me there.
And you did? Or no? Or you got kind of teary-eyed?
I got choked up, but I didn't get quite what I wanted.
Okay.
But anyways, I mean, I see that connection, right, of how it's helping me process my emotions and helping me ward off stress and frankly getting me out of this room because
you sleep here or you work here.
One room in the house that I'm in, and that's sort of all the time.
Yeah. Right.
And so it's a different space, it's a different feeling. Yeah, it's been really, really good for me.
So, I mean, like your mom asked me when I chat with her, like how you're doing and if you're still on the bike and stuff like that. And so I'm glad that we got it because I think it's a big boon for you and maybe for one of the kids at some point, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, they have some
Yeah, I don't have shoes. We're not gonna buy shoes.
We could buy pedals that have clips that like you could have for shoe cages with regular shoe.
I don't know. I don't feel like spending money on it just yet.
Okay. But
I'm trying to be a runner.
That's fine.
Yeah. Although this past week I wasn't.
It's pouring rain like it has been.
Yeah, but I would run. I've got my 4 days a week and I am stubborn enough that I will run. So
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, exercise is definitely a help, but
right, but it's not a cure for everything that ails you.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think for me, because I'm in HR, dealing with the impacts of COVID is part of my job, and checking on how other people are doing in terms of the impacts on their life is part of my job. And maybe that makes it more difficult for me because it's ever present. I can't just kind of bury my head in the sand and be like, just work at home and whatever.
Right.
It has to be a thing, right? So yeah, that's been a challenge as well. At the same time, it means that I can share struggles and know that other people relate to that.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
My therapist is actually, I think she's of many minds about what to do about this pandemic because it is true that there is a physical health risk to going out and interacting
Right.
and all of those things, but she's significantly worried about the mental health risk to people of not going out and interacting because we are wired as social beings. And for example, we truly benefit from hugs.
Sure.
And for people who live alone,
Mhm.
if they're not getting any of that,
Right.
what is that doing to them?
Mhm.
Right. So, on the one hand, she gets the physical concerns. On the other hand, she's trying to,
Yeah. Yeah, it's harder to quantify the second part though, right? Like we can quantify COVID by the number of deaths.
yes, but
And there may be lots of people argue that there are deaths because of the physical distancing. That we just can't quantify that.
yeah,
But and who knows what we'll see going forward as we keep going, right?
right.
Like I'm not aware of like suicide rates are up, but maybe that's true. I don't know. I just haven't seen that.
Yeah, I haven't either. Well, the only case in which I've seen it is about healthcare providers.
Right, frontline workers.
Yeah,
Right.
who are just exhausted.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, outside of that, I haven't seen that. But suicide isn't the only way that there's mental health impacts.
Right, but I'm
And
just
that's
saying but that's a quantifiable
yes,
point of data
yeah,
that we can't, we don't really get because there's probably going to be an increase of people seeking mental health counseling.
hmm
And a part of that is because of what's been going on. A part of that is because there's just more talk about it now because,
yeah,
every news agency that they'll run one story on, why it's mentally bad for us to be at home. So it's going to be more in people's minds.
and
So,
maybe more acceptable because one of the things that we all struggle with is this idea, right, that somehow mental health issues are less than
right.
physical health issues.
hmm
And that's one of the things that the redheaded stepchild
Yeah.
that it doesn't feel valid
Right.
to need
Right.
stuff for this because it's not a valid illness. Right? And
Yeah.
I called bullshit on that right away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But
I also understand that's how she sees it.
it feels different. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the part of that is about our society's view of it.
Yeah, it is. But I think also implicit in depression anyway is shame,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is is maybe some of that is culture centric, that it's part of our culture that's just built in. But I think a good deal of that is just implicit in the symptoms of disease itself.
Right. Well, and of course, a lot of folks with depression also feel like they aren't worth
hmm
other people's care and attention or whatever. So that means that whatever's going on in them isn't worthy of
Right.
acknowledgement and treatment.
They should all get a tattoo.
Like someone has on
Like,
their arm?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's part of the disease.
Yeah. So
You're very distracted tonight.
no, I know, but it was our stepchild
Oh.
who came in the house and was looking for you.
Oh.
And I invited them to come up, but they said no, they're just gonna hang out for a little while.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I just making sure.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess the thing for me is like there's just been so many sad or tragic things that have happened in this time
hmm
that aren't necessarily directly related to COVID, but when you've already got this base of sort of
hmm
stuff, it just feels heavier. So my mom losing basically all of her worldly possessions
Yeah.
in a storage fire, right?
Right.
Horrible. Would have been horrible at any time. Somehow seems worse now.
Yeah.
The redheaded stepchild having the struggle she's having.
hmm
The stuff that's going on in the Twin Cities.
Right.
I mean, it's just protect losing 3 family members within a week,
Mhm.
right? I don't know that any of those people were victims of COVID,
Right.
but still a horrible thing for her no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sorry, I was going to make a joke, but it doesn't seem appropriate.
you gonna make a joke about how heavy everything is?
Yeah, I was going to bring up murder hornets.
Well, yes.
There's that.
All the memes about which of the deadly plagues is coming
Yes.
next. And
Mhm.
yes, the murder hornets.
So, and the cicadas are coming.
Well, and wasn't there some weird thing about monkeys stealing
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not,
COVID? Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the locusts are coming here in the, I don't know how well known that is around the world, but cicadas are a bug of some sort that like lives in a pupal state in the ground for like 17 years.
So it
And
really
then,
is like locusts, but it's just
yeah, but I don't think they like eat crops. I don't know. I don't know how it all goes.
okay.
I think they just come out, mate, and then die. I think, but
But that means your world is overrun.
millions of them all at once coming out.
So gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, in North Carolina, but I think all Western North Carolina,
Oh,
Western,
okay.
Western. Yeah, I think.
More mountainous
I think
areas
so.
than
I think is what I've seen.
because we're in central. Yeah.
Yeah. But we wouldn't have any locusts here in our new development anyway. I wouldn't
Or
think.
cicadas.
Yeah, did I say locusts?
You did.
I did. Well, we won't have either. So yeah, our ground's been churned up so much. I don't think
yeah.
there's much chance of that. So.
But I suppose if they are like locusts in terms of if there's any movement of them,
Yeah.
then we could still be impacted because there are areas that are
yeah, that's true.
Vacant right next to us, right?
Yeah. So, but we'll miss out. So.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm so sad about
that. Yeah, I'm glad you let me go see that solar eclipse.
Yeah.
A few years ago. That's like the one big rare event that I've been able to experience.
So do you need to drive to Western North Carolina and see if you can see this one?
No, but next year or the year after, I plan on taking the girls up to Southeast Michigan to see another solar eclipse.
Oh.
So
okay.
I think there's another one coming.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if I'll get as lucky to have such a good spot, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. So also, I thought it would be interesting to see what your opinions are of me for the past 2.5 months or so.
Oh, like
yeah.
I mean, I've learned patterns,
mm-hmm.
right, that give me some indication of how well you're doing.
Okay.
And right, it has to do with, are you being physically active?
Mm-hmm.
How are you eating?
Mm-hmm.
How are you sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
Those are usually indicators of better or worse times, not necessarily, titrated down to like detailed degree, but
right.
indicators.
But so my sleeping has been pretty steady for a while.
Yeah.
And my exercise has been pretty steady for a while. So just my diet has been kind of up and down.
But I would argue you expressed a desire and you attempted to improve your eating, which I'm not even willing to go there right now. That is not something I feel like I can take on emotionally.
Yeah.
With all the other things, I don't have room in my head for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have tried. Maybe you're not feeling successful at it, but
no. I think today I decided I'm going to lean into not dieting, but trying to be less bingy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that'll work, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Like I keep thinking it's only going to get warmer out. So running is only going to get harder.
Yeah.
And I know that if there were less of me, it would be mitigated somehow. But I can't.
Having run heavy and having run skinny.
Yeah.
I can attest.
So, but I don't know that I'm quite ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I was 2 months ago. What was it? April, right? When I April, I lost like 10 pounds.
And then the world kind of grew up.
Well, no, I'd blown up before that, but I don't know. I was just
Oh, that was that when you were working. So
no,
maybe
'cause
you
I was back to work.
in
So
April?
yeah, beginning April, first week April or something like that. Yeah. So
I don't think that's right.
I've been working for a while.
But it's the end of May.
Yeah.
So that's 8 weeks ago. That's for, I mean, the beginning of April was when I got the Peloton. So I have a barometer of when that was.
Maybe the first week you probably wasn't working, but it was only like 3 weeks that I wasn't doing work. And then things started coming back little by little.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a lot. It wasn't nearly as much as I've worked this past week or next week.
Maybe that's part of what I'm thinking of. It's just you were still not working as much, and so you had more
Maybe.
availability to focus on.
Maybe. I don't know. Because when I work, I tend to just binge more. I won't. I have no problem just getting up, having my banana and a granola bar, and then like I'm good till I get home from work, and then it's like often it's like 3 hot dog rolls and a couple raw hot dogs and whatever else. Marshmallows haven't lasted that long in the house lately. Marshmallows. I think I said on this show, like, how can I possibly think about dieting if marshmallows sound delicious?
Because they're not.
Yeah, marshmallow is pretty boring, but they're soft like bread.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Like some bread.
Like all the good bread.
I don't agree.
Well, you're wrong.
I can like my crusty bread.
Yeah, flaky, crusty bread just makes messes.
It does make messes.
Yeah.
It can be delicious.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, okay. We can agree that I'm right, you're wrong.
No, I won't agree to that.
Okay.
Nice try though.
Okay. So yeah, so I mean, what do you think about like what's the next month gonna look like? What do you think?
The pessimist in me
Mm-hmm.
thinks that we will see another spike in COVID infection.
Mm-hmm.
Because people started opening up, and I think, everybody's comfort level with what they're doing is different, but I see a lot of people who are doing a lot more socializing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Than they were, and I think it's natural that it's going to happen. Our particular life, you and me and the kids in the house, and I think it's going to be largely what it's been for the last couple months. Yeah. I mean, I know for sure that I won't be going back to the office in the next month.
Right.
And you're working, and my oldest is back to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the kids are basically done with school, so
yeah,
I won't have to fight about homework anymore. But
right.
That's really the only thing that's going to change.
I guess so. And more stuff like I've heard and I've read and stuff is that like most states are still in their first peak.
Mm-hmm.
As a country, our numbers have flattened or gone down because New York has gotten things under control, and like that's how bad it was in New York.
Right.
So, like as a country, like we just as a state, I think yesterday was like our second highest new case day.
Well, yeah, and that's part of why I'm skeptical about what's going to happen with the outbreak, right?
Yeah.
I think things are going to climb back up because people aren't practicing these measures as much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like there aren't people out there who essentially totally asymptomatic and unbeknownst to them.
Right. Oh yeah.
Are carrying this to other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I don't know. I try not to be too pessimistic on the show about it. only on Thursdays when I have my regular show. But
Well,
like,
I'm not necessarily saying, it's gonna be like the plague and, hundreds of thousands more people are gonna die and not like I'm just saying infection rates are gonna go up. What's interesting is that the longer this thing's around, the more doctors and medical researchers are able to learn about it and
yeah,
figure out
there's
what may
better ways to
help.
treat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so it becomes hopefully less fatal
right,
over that, over the longer term, even if we don't have it.
right.
I mean, I was reading something yesterday or this morning or something about that there is now some thought that it's not just a lung thing, which is what they originally thought, and which is what like
Mhm.
H1N1 or SARS or some of the others were, that it's actually a vascular.
Yeah, I saw that too. I didn't read
Yeah,
the article, but I saw that. Yeah.
yeah, that it's getting into the vasculature, and that's why there's weird things with feet and there's weird blood clotting issues. And so if we if that is correct, and we know that, that changes the way we treat it.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So
yeah, yeah. I just don't know. I mean, even if December we have a vaccine that's approved, we've got 7.8 billion people who need to get it.
and how fast can they produce it?
Right.
And
Who gets it first?
well, and how much testing has been done about its efficacy?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. One is in like stage 3 trials, I think. But just because it's gotten to stage 3 doesn't phase 3, not stage 3. Phase 3 doesn't mean it's gonna pass.
Right.
Or, gosh, wouldn't that just like soup up all the anti-vaxxers if we pushed something through and it really had a big flaw in it somehow?
Right, and either had horrible side effects or just didn't work.
Right. No.
Right. Seemed like it was going to, but for some reason didn't.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what the future will bring, right? But I think we're going to be in some sort of altered state like we are now. Maybe not as extreme, but some sort of altered state for a while yet.
Yeah.
Months, at least.
Yeah. Like I've tried to do thought experiments of like what it will look like post-vaccine even, right? Like let's say we get ahead of coronavirus and COVID-19, but like what are movie theaters going to look like? What are bars going to look like?
I don't know if we'll maintain it. I mean, in the near term, sure, but I think
like a big group of people are not going to want to go get a drink from a bartender.
Based on the behaviors in our neighborhood alone, okay. I think no.
Maybe not. Okay. No.
I mean, based on the stories in the papers about, Lake of the Ozarks and beaches around the country on Memorial Day.
Yeah, okay. Maybe so.
I mean, I think it's going to be, the interim time is going to be really weird because, now we go into Target and there's big flexi things between us and the cashier and there's all this guarding, and I know that's what my oldest is dealing with in her work environment now, and wearing masks all the time. Those things are going to still be altering the way we interact, even after we sort of move towards normal.
Yeah.
I think that in a way that's going to be the weirdest time when I'm interacting with you, but I'm standoffish as opposed to we're just not interacting because we know it's nothing.
Yeah. What about your first business trip and someone like 2 rows back has a tickling cough, coughing consistently? Like, how's that going to affect people on the plane?
I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time with that. I mean, I look at my own travel, right? So most of the time when I traveled to DC.
Right.
a 4-hour drive.
Mhm.
If I need to go there, driving is probably going to be my option for a while.
Right.
I'm probably going to choose not to get on a plane, even though it's actually a really short flight.
Right.
So I think some of that will change too. I think we will see less business travel for a while.
Mhm.
People are adopting all these remote technologies.
Yeah, there's more and more. There's less reason for.
Well, I still something about sitting across the table from someone or sitting in a room with someone. There is an impact of that.
Yeah, but we're raising a whole generation of people now
Yeah, well, that's true.
who don't feel that need.
Yeah.
To be able to rub elbows with somebody.
Right.
That way.
Right. Who have relationships with people they play video games with and they've never seen and they've never met.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, but I just think even our generation is gonna just question what's really necessary.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for me, you think I'm maintaining?
Yeah, I feel like, since we got here and you got on your current medication, things have been fairly steady.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, the real sadness in your eyes or the real struggles. We all have our days, but yeah, you have not seen significantly changed by this. And I think there's an upside for you, like having the girls here with us more.
Yeah.
Has been a nice.
Yeah.
A nice outcome.
That's been nice. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So pandemic all the way for me.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know. Somebody's got to thrive in every situation, right?
But you would go see your mom.
Yeah, I would have been up to see her. Well, she had done. Yeah.
Right? I mean, there are things you're not doing because of this. It would be a basketball season for you to get excited about. Right?
Well, it's coming back.
Well, but I mean, you had a trip planned that got canceled. You had, right? There were things that you would have liked to do that you didn't get to do.
Yeah.
I don't know that we'll go on our annual summer trip this year.
No, probably not. So.
It's not impossible.
No, it's not. But it just who knows?
Yeah.
It's so much. I mean.
Yeah.
It's almost the last day of May, but July seems so far away.
And yet, I feel like the summer's already written. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe we'll find some new thing. Maybe we'll take the kids and rent an Airbnb in the mountains and spend time hiking. I don't know. Away from people.
That's not a bad idea.
See?
Yeah.
So that could be a new good thing that comes out of making lemonade out of lemons, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. Can we have pink lemonade?
Only if it's raspberry, none of that strawberry.
Where do we get pink lemonades?
We don't do.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I think we've bored people long enough.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought me on here because you think I'm boring.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what people like to listen to or not. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm like 270 episodes into this whole podcasting thing, and I still have no idea why people listen.
But they do.
Somebody does, yeah.
Yeah, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So, yeah, so that's it.
Okay.
I think I'll put a front and an end to this later on.
Okay.
And whatnot. But thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Always like talking with you.
Well, yeah, but we don't need microphones to do that.
You're a fan favorite, though.
Oh, well. So then should I say, be safe and be well?
You can? I think you just did.
I think I just did.
Yeah, but I'll still add it later.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that's going to be it. Yeah, I'm going to hang up now.